I'm really keen and delighted to introduce the beautiful Nature Direct products to everyone and really share the why people choose Nature Direct. And I'm going to explain why they're so different, why these products are so different, why they are absolutely unique in the world of home care solutions, and why they are a really valuable tool in your business that will open the door for many to begin their journey of health and wellness and truly discover what they call meaningful, clean living. So what is clean living? Probably some of you think it might be just about eating or maybe keeping a clean house. It's really being mindful of the footprint that you have in this world of ours. It's a consciousness around protecting our environmental world, protecting our animals, and importantly, caring for our own health and well-being. It's the little things like responsible recycling or buying free-range products and giving back to our communities and our families in the communities. It's also connecting with people who are like-minded, which of course is why we're on this call today, which is fantastic. It's really a mindful way of living, and I know from my experience, when you are financially stressed, mindfulness and healthy living often becomes the least of our problems. Being stressed about how to pay the mortgage or buy next week's food, it keeps many of us really awake at night. And I guess that's the reason it's clean living is a really mindful way of living. It's not just a way of eating. And Nature Direct and Youngevity are very closely aligned in our values, which is why we're such a good match around building this business. Okay. Now, did you know that your family's exposure to most toxic chemicals is actually within your control? A lot of people don't realise that. Awareness comes from knowing what you are eating, what you're breathing in, what you're cleaning with. So I ask all of you this question. Have you ever thought about what you are cleaning with? Have you begun to make conscious decisions about what you use in cleaning? Or hasn't it occurred to you at all? Our job, and yours now as well, because we're part of the Youngevity family, is to help people become more informed about what they use in their home around their family. Clearly, though, when you walk down the supermarket aisle where the cleaning products are located, many people don't consider the impact of toxic cleaning products in their home. They simply walk along those aisles and pick up whatever's been advertised on TV the night before, whatever new products being released in the market. But finding what's in them is not that simple, unlike food, of course. Unfortunately, worldwide, there are no restrictions or requirements on listing ingredients of cleaning products. You will never know exactly what's in those products, which you commonly use all around your home. There's an industry term called proprietary formulas and proprietary formula privacy, and which basically is just a terminology to hide a myriad of hidden ingredients. Now, I'll just share with you a couple of facts, if I may. But some of you may be aware already, did you know that since World War II, there have been over 80,000 synthetic factory-made chemicals introduced into the world? I certainly didn't know that. Now, when you think about, obviously there's a few women on this group, and some of you may have children, but you might think about the playgroups your children attended, kindergartens and schools. I mean, I remember when people started school, very few people seemed to have allergies. Asthma was really rare, and now asthma and nut allergies and eczema and food intolerances are such commonplace. I mean, 15 to 20 years ago, no one even knew what Ventolin was, and that's astonishing when you start to think about it already. Now, it's very commonplace to read labels on food. The laws are really stringent, particularly in Australia and New Zealand. And they have to cite preservatives and additives, but these laws do not apply to cleaning products. Now, just recently, as part of the roadshows in New Zealand, I read some of the labels on the warnings on the store-bought cleaning products that many of you are probably using or have used in the past. Have they stopped toxic exposure for people? No, they have not. And in fact, in Australia, over 80,000 people per year call the Poison Information Hotline. Toxic cleaning products are actually among the most common inquiries from those callers. You know, Nature Direct really is a safer choice. It's a much smarter choice. Switching to cleaning products doesn't mean you have to compromise on quality or pay a lot of money either, which is what's happened in the past. And there's that gorgeous picture of that that girl actually looks like one of our distributors, a girl called Constance. And we can all make positive choices just like we do when we have our children and not compromise our clean living values. Then we'll talk about what's different. We source the best quality ingredients from across the globe. They are organically grown and indigenously sourced pure essential oils. Our French biochemist specifically chooses species of plants with the best properties. For example, our vanilla essential oil is only sourced from Madagascar because it has the best properties and the fit for purpose for what it's used for. Our eucalyptus comes from Tasmania. It's one of the purest in the world and has remarkable disinfecting qualities. We have, hello, maybe we should make that person. Can you hear me okay, Michelle?
I'll just see who it is. Let's see.
We have no toxic chemicals. We have no artificial colours. There are no parabens, no pollutants, no petrochemicals, and absolutely no palm oil. We have no sulfates, no chlorine or caustics, no BPA in our bottles or our triggers. We are certified for no testing on animals. There are no genetically modified ingredients. We are 100% biodegradable, septic, sewage, grey water and black water safe. And of course, the powerful properties within these essential oils just makes you feel beautiful when you use your products because they just make your home feel fresh and clean, and you'll get a whole lovely vibe when you start to clean with them. They're amazing. But best of all, they actually work. Because in my experience is that people often say, when we've gone through this description about our products, they often say, okay, how much does it cost and do they actually work? And that's really what people want to know in the end. We're now in our 11th year of business, and we have customers who have repeat ordered through NatureDirect upwards of 40 times. That's not even on auto ship, so that's amazing, considering the products actually do last a long time. You know, domestic bliss is easier and more affordable than you think. The concentrates are very powerful. They come in various sizes. You'll see the ones in the photo there are what they call a 125 ml. So you simply add, and that 125 ml bottle actually makes up 2.5 litres of ready-to-use mixture. You simply add 475 mils of water to 25 mils of concentrate. So why pay for water when you can actually add it yourself? They're really multi-purpose formulas. They're uniquely and scientifically formulated so that you can ditch the dirt, the dangerous toxins, and enjoy a really clean, healthier way of life. Now, this is our flagship product. This is the one you've been talking about, Michelle, earlier.
Yep.
This is Enviromist. You'll see there a spray applicator bottle with the 125 ml concentrate, and they're obviously colour coded, so you can't muck them up. They're foolproof. It's a natural sanitizer made from 100% organically grown and indigenously sourced pure essential oils: cloves, cypress, eucalyptus, mint, pine, rosemary, savoury, and thyme. It has very powerful antibacterial properties as well. It works as an odour control product, getting rid of nasty smells. You can even, I often walk around after my dog and spray my dog with it if he's making some really nasty smells. It sanitises surfaces in toilets, kitchens and food prep areas like chopping boards, that kind of thing. Great for refrigerators. It helps remove mould and mildew, and of course that's a pretty specialised subject, so I'm always available for questions about mould. It's formulated in accordance with the international guidelines of EcoCert, which is a very highly prestigious European standard around environmental practices. Its unique emulsifier is what sets it apart from any other essential oil product out there on the market. This is really very unique. Now, the next product is our commercial grade disinfectant. This is an approved level C disinfectant formulated in accordance with the Australian Register of Therapeutic Goods. It is a synthetic product, but it's a very clever formula that actually uses 3 very low grade disinfecting chemicals, and it's up to 7 times safer than the other common brands of disinfectants. I'll talk about that again in a moment. Now these are pretty unique. This one here is our pollen and dust control spray. It's all plant-based. It's natural, non-toxic, non-invasive. The solution removes dust particles from the air, really improving the air quality. Once you see this in a room and how it works, you'll just be blown away by what actually drops to the surface of anything that's uncovered. It is perfect for people with asthma, hay fever, any breathing difficulties. I know several, my mother-in-law had emphysema before she passed away, and it was a really good product to actually help clean the air in her aged care facility. It pairs really well with the Pure Air Revitalizer, which really helps maintain that clean, fresh air in rooms. Now, I'd love everybody to pay attention to this one because this is really clever. This is our top selling product. And I think it fundamentally appeals to everybody, because doesn't everybody deserve the right to have clean air and breathe clean air inside their home? Many of you know, of course, that indoor air is likely to be more polluted than the air outside, and it's certainly the case because a lot of studies have actually proven that. It's affordable. It's inexpensive to run. It costs less to run than a 13-watt light bulb, so that's very inexpensive as far as power goes, and can be used by anyone. It's quite safe as well. If it gets knocked over, it just switches itself off. It's perfect for people wanting fresh, clean air, or for those people who've got asthma, allergies, or breathing difficulties. It's a 3-in-1 unit. It has an ionizer. It cleans air by washing it through the solution in the bottom of the plastic bowl, and it's also a humidifier. It uses cold water rather than the very dangerous and hot steam water systems, hot water systems, where, of course, you might remember when you were growing up, Michelle, they'd have them in our children's rooms, and the condensation would just simply drip down the wall. Really, really unhealthy. They're perfect for rooms with poor ventilation. They're really great for bedrooms. And in winter, when you can't open the window, it might be too cold. And of course, it's even great for caravans and small areas like that. You can take one to the office and help ward off those nasty bugs that float around the air-conditioned offices, and you can have it sitting on your bench, which is in your office space. I use one in my laundry because that's where my old cat tray is located. So it keeps that smell from infiltrating the rest of the house. It helps to remove airborne bacteria, mold, mildew, household smells. And I'm going to mention those because it's actually quite important. Curry cooking, onions, strong aromatic spices, even paint and varnish fumes. Strong fumes like that are actually are well-known triggers for asthma attacks. So it's a really good thing to actually have to help prevent any sort of reaction to those strong smells. It comes in 2 formulations, the regular and the hypoallergenic for sensitive noses. The hypoallergenic one is made from 6 essential oils that are the only certified allergen-free oils by the International Fragrance Association. Now, this is a product I spoke about yesterday, perhaps, and I also spoke with Forrest Stevens during the week. It's an incredibly powerful business tool as well. You know, most of our distributors have 2 or 3 on the go at any one time. In fact, our top selling and most successful distributor, a girl called Danielle Bortigno, I think she has about 6 going at any given time. Often when people order one, she'll pop one around to their home so that they can use it until their own unit arrives, because often they're very desperate when they order these.
Jeanette, is this called the Breathe Easy pack?
That's right. Okay. And it's really an entry to the journey of healthy living. Yeah. Now, I think it's such a visibly easy product, and the results are evident within 2 hours. That literally is it. So what I say to people is, look, try this. I think it might help you. I'll use the story of my girlfriend with her 12-year-old daughter who had quite bad asthma. So I said, look, just pop it in a room, shut the doors and windows, and go back in 2 hours' time, and you'll notice a difference. And she said it's palpable. You can just feel the difference when you move into the room. So I rang them the next day, and her name is Imogen, and I said, how did Imogen cope last night? And she said, oh, you can ask her if you like. So Imogen basically said, oh, yeah, the air wasn't thick to breathe. Now, that was a really interesting comment. So it really does lighten the air. So, and I know that for people that you perhaps have in your life who are somewhat resistant to the other products within Youngevity, in particular the nutritionals, this is a really affordable way for them to actually open that door to Youngevity and what it can offer them as on their journey to health and wellness.
So, Jeanette, what square meterage would this cover in your home?
Yeah, great question. You know, it's probably, I'd say probably 3.5 to 4 metres square, probably the average size bedroom.
Okay.
Yep.
So if you wanted one in your living and dining area, would you have to have more than one in a larger area?
Probably. I've got a really open plan house, and I mean, even that I notice when I walk into the house, I can still smell the solution. My husband, who's a real born skeptic, actually has a lot of hay fever problems and allergy problems. So he has two. He has one at the end of his office, of his desk, sorry. So we can notice that the minute you walk in the house. It's really very, very obvious. And I also have one on the kitchen bench because I have, as I said, an old cat, and it does help to take away. I cook a lot of fish, so it takes away those fish smells. It's fantastic. It's just an excellent product for people. The minute people come into my house, they go, oh, what's that smell? Oh, wow, what does it do? It's fascinating because, of course, it does have that that swishing noise to it. Coincidentally, also, we started selling a lot of these down in Southwest WA. I'm talking 20, 30 at one time. So when I was introduced to the person who was recommending this product, it was a woman called Emma Pollard, and she actually runs a very successful business in Australia called the Good Night Nurse Sleep Solutions, because the white noise that the unit actually produces is very effective for helping children and even people with sleeping disorders actually get to sleep. White noise is well documented as a very good tool for helping people sleep. And it's below 60 decibels, so it's really within the range for very young babies to actually use as well. It's quite safe to use around babies. It's a fantastic product. So I just know that many of you will love this product as a very good tool in your business. Obviously, great for you in your home, but not to mention as a way of actually introducing, clean, fresh air to the people in your lives who have somewhat been resistant towards some of the other Youngevity products. I can go back and answer more questions around that if you like. The next one. This is simple. This is spray and wipe. There's not a lot I can say about spray and wipe other than you spray and you wipe it. But the way these products work is you spray and then you leave. Let sit for about 30 seconds and then you wipe, because the way it works, it actually sucks up the dirt and the grime into that and holds the dirt and grease into the fluid like a suspension fluid. And you'll see there that it comes in. It actually also comes in the 500 ml, but 125 ml concentrate and the 250 ml with the colour coordinated spray bottle. So and how to use it, and instructions are all on the bottles as well. Now, what's the next one? Microfiber. Now, with microfiber, you actually get what you pay for. This is a really top quality microfiber. It's very, very great value. I think they're about retail. They probably sell for about $17, $18. I think wholesale, I'm not quite sure what they are at wholesale. They are effective for 300 washes. Just make sure you pop them inside a laundry bag. That way it'll protect the fibres. Now, if you can see the image on the screen now, you'll see that when you start to look at microfiber, it has these little hooks on it, and that's actually what picks up the grease and the grime and the dirt and the dust. I'm perhaps going to explain the difference between that and cheap microfiber. Has anybody ever used been to the supermarket or perhaps Bunnings or one of the hardware stores and then gone and bought, say, you can often buy 10 for $10. Well, those microfibers are only intended as one-use microfiber. They're great for for getting rid of mold, and I won't talk about, I'll do a call on mold another day. But you would typically not wash those microfibers out. If you did, the little hooks would just simply break away. Whereas these ones are designed, they're double stitched, they're really excellent quality microfiber. I know every one of you are going to love them. My favourite is the dusting cloth, I must say. It's probably the fourth one down. And you'll see on the top there is the Stay Fresh dishcloths. That's actually a pack of 2. And it's actually woven with bamboo to actually help prevent that smelly, that smelly dishcloth smell that everybody gets from time to time. And here is what the 2 products which somebody was talking about earlier, the Super Strength Cleaner. It's really a fantastic product, specifically for removing heavy grease, fat, scum and grime, kitchen hot plates, range hoods, microwave ovens. I even spray my baking dishes with it if I can't be bothered washing them before I go to bed. Now, unlike the citrus-based cleaners, you can actually use them on marble and stone bench tops. You must be aware that when you start to use on marble or granite, you must be very careful that you do not use citrus-based cleaning products on those. What we do recommend is that you use these always test on an inconspicuous spot. And the other thing that what often people do, though, is they pick up a couple of extra spray bottles. Now, this will make life so much easier for all of you. You'll be able to keep one in the bathroom for the on-the-go cleaning, because there's no bleach or nasties in the product. You can even clean in your ready to go to work clothes or whatever. Pop another bottle under the kitchen bench, and then you've got one there as well. So I basically have one in the bathroom with a cloth, and I have one in the kitchen, under the kitchen, with a couple of cloths down there as well. So, and because the concentrate just makes up extra bottles, it's really economical. It works extremely well with a piece of eraser. And by the way, the eraser block is a little, I suppose, from what people often describe, it's like the magic eraser blocks that you buy at the supermarket. Yes, it is, except it has no chemical additive to it. You'll often find with the magic eraser ones, when you start to wet them and squeeze them, there's like a soapy scum that comes out of them. And ours is guaranteed formaldehyde free. And a perfect pair with the Tough Guy cloth, which is that grey charcoal one you'll see in the bottom left-hand corner. Great for people who are particular about their ingredients in their food, like all of you. I know some of you are doing some great saver events as well. Well, this is a perfect pair with that as well. Now, spray and wipe, remember these bottles, a 125ml bottle makes up 2.5 litres, which is 5 times 500ml spray bottles of ready-to-use mixture. Now, the spray applicator bottles are commercial quality. They're formulated from a special plastic that won't dissolve when used with essential oils, unlike many of the cheaper spray bottles. In the beginning, when we started using this product, we very quickly found out what happened if you put these solutions into a standard spray bottle, the type of one that you might buy the supermarket for $2 or whatever. They basically dissolve the plastic, so they're very very, very powerful. Always sell the concentrate with the spray bottle. Our Nature Direct team, and you'll be the same, when people say, oh no, don't worry about it, I've got my own spray bottles. Well, guess what? No. Say, look, I'm sorry, I can't sell it to you. Because the last thing you want is, firstly, you don't know what's been in the spray bottle before, and you also don't know what's going to happen or where it's going to get left. Now, here's our glass cleaner and polisher. We just call it our shiny spray because it's a fantastic product to clean any shiny surface. The carpet and upholstery and pre-wash spray is really great for people with skin conditions or as a pre-wash cleaner. It has no enzymes at all in the product. In fact, none of our products have enzymes, which is particularly important for people with psoriasis and eczema, etc. And I'll perhaps just explain why enzymes are so bad to use with anybody with skin conditions, or actually skin full stop. Enzymes typically will go searching for protein. The problem is they can't distinguish between protein as in food protein or skin protein. So that's where you often get a lot of inflammation. So just be aware of that when you're dealing with people that, enzymes are You know, they might be great on grease and grime, but they're not good for the environment, and they're certainly not good for our skin and our bodies. Okay, here's our glass cleaner and its spray applicator bottle. Once again, you'll notice that they're all colour coordinated, so you can't, they're all foolproof, you can't mark it up. There's the carpet and upholstery and pre-wash spray in the various sizes, 125, 250 and 500 mils. The next one, of course, I'll just quickly talk about this one. A commercial grade disinfectant. Doesn't come, it has a spray bottle as well, which you can certainly use, although a lot of people use it as a soaker. It kills 99.9% of common germs and is 7 times safer than the regular supermarket brands. So makes a big difference. It's available in 250ml and 500ml only. It's a very good soaker for soaking those smelly dishcloths or socks, or even spraying inside gym bags or whatever. Anywhere where you use a product that would be similar to something like a nappy sand or a canistan. It's not a bleach. So it doesn't whiten things, it just kills the nasties. It also kills candida too. So often you'll find with young babies, they might have bibs or perhaps some clothes. I know children are often prone to thrush when they're young, and that's this is what will kill that germ as well. So, and won't spread it through the whole family, which of course is what you don't want to happen. Now, I'm not going to talk about this product because it's sold out, but they are coming back, okay? So if you've seen this on NatureX site and you're thinking, oh, this looks amazing, you are right, it is amazing. And it's coming back into the range soon. Youngevity are pulling out all stops to bring this product into their range. So, you know, our hosting your own social, we call them show and goes, but now we're going to call them socials, will save you money and help share this really valuable message with your friends and family. And of course, now with the social selling site, you'll be able to host social events and you'll save even more money with the really incredibly generous Youngevity host program. You absolutely have to take a look at it because it's just so mind-blowingly easy to do, and what a great reward and incentive to get in front of prospects and their friends and family. So I really urge you to take a strong look at that as well. I've saved the best product to last, the alcohol-free hand sanitizer. It's a gel hand sanitizer. It has the beautiful manuka oil in it from New Zealand, mint, pine clove and lemongrass. It does kill 99.9% of common germs, and it keeps our hands soft and hydrated. It actually comes in a 500ml bottle, then with empty little bottles. I've got one here, so that's what it looks like. There's one of the little ones. And then what you can do is you simply pour it in as you need it. So it's a ready-to-use mixture. You don't need to add water to that one. So, this is just some information about the hand sanitizer. Children, babies, it's really effective without alcohol because, of course, if children start using it and rub their eyes, then suddenly you start to realise just how dangerous they are. It's also free from toxic chemicals. It's completely VOC free, which is fantastic. It's also aligns with the principles of EcoCert, which is the very internationally renowned organic and environmental certification organisation. So it's you know, it's a fabulous product. And of course, at NatureX, we're really known for what we put inside our products as well as what we leave out. So I think people often take a very good, a hard look at what they use after they've been to one of our events. You can buy them in packs. I know that this is the retail price up here, the Australian retail price. Wholesale, I'm not sure what the price is. I think the Home Hero pack is somewhere around $2.50. I know certainly I had a call with Forest Students the other night with some people, and they're really keen to, they've been using their packs. Of course, it comes with one of those fantastic Breathe Easy units as well. So it is a great way to introduce that clean living where you have lots of choice and happiness and hopefully success with your business as well when you actually incorporate these products into your business prospecting. And I really look forward to being of service to every one of you and to explain how successful it is to actually build a business with NatureX products alongside of the other verticals. It is the only one that is in that vertical in home and health, home and family. So what a great choice. Now you can buy your beautiful essential oil cleaning products directly from your own business. So Michelle, I might hand. I might leave that last one up, but I'll just ask you to open the line if anybody would like to ask any questions.
Okay, I'll just unmute everybody, and if anyone wants to ask some questions, go ahead.
Okay. Might be better if you mute them and then perhaps people.
Put your hand up.
Yeah.
Is that Liz?
Yes, it is, Liz.
Okay, just
Yeah.
hold on.
I'm thinking glass and leather. Products are safe on leather because they're oils.
I'm having trouble hearing there, Michelle.
Yeah,
There's a lot of background noise.
I'm just going to mute everybody and I'll unmute you.
Right.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Liz, and
And
yeah.
I'm unmuted as well. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks,
Go ahead.
That was great. I'm wondering about, I've got a leather lounge. Are the products okay to clean the lounge with, the leather lounge?
They are. You've got to be careful with leather, particularly because, of course, when you start to rub it, the colour often comes out. I use the Super Strength on my couch. I've got a big Dalmatian called Casper, and so I spray it on the leather, and then I use one of the microfiber. I'll just come back and see if I can tell you the one I use, because I use it. I have to do it every week. As much as I like to keep him off the couch, he still ends up on the couch. You'll see there, they're ribbed. It looks like it's ribbed. It's the second and third one down, third and fourth one down. There's a red and a blue one. And I just basically would spray the surface and then wipe with the microfiber. Let it sit there for about 20, 30 seconds and then rub it. But don't rub too hard, because if you rub it, you'll actually take the colour out of the hide.
Okay, and what is the glass? What do you use on glass?
The glass polishing cloth. I'll show you that one. You'll notice you see there the glass has got the green cloth. It's specifically green to match with the with the bottle itself. Down the bottom left-hand corner here. Look, most people end up getting 3 or 4 of those polishing cloths because they are awesome. Gosh, they're good. They're really fantastic for cleaning mirrors and stainless steel, any sort of shiny chrome or taps, or even Emperite cupboards, you know, some of the highly polished kitchen cupboards. It's fantastic to use on that as well.
What was the cloth for the leather lounge, did you say?
It's actually, see on the right there, that the screen you can see right now, you'll see a yellow one. It's called the all-purpose cloth. Yeah. I think they come in various colours, and simply so that often people will perhaps get a couple of them. They might get I don't know whether you can request colours, but they're all the same. Those ones, the all-purpose ones, just come in 4 different colours. So
just called all-purpose.
Yeah, all-purpose. It's a good size one. It's actually 2-sided. So what you'll see on one side, it's smooth, and the other side, it's actually ribbed. So you'll be able to clean with one and then sort of wipe cleanly with the other side as well. Don't forget when you are washing them to pop them in a laundry bag as well.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I'll just unmute everyone. Okay. Surely
you can pay the bill now.
Hello. Has anyone got any questions?
Okay. Maybe people could raise their hands. That might work.
Or put it in the chat.
Yeah, put them in the chat. I think it's too much background noise there. Yep.
Michelle, can I just ask again?
Hang on, Liz. Hang on. Liz. Okay, go ahead, Liz.
Glass cleaner, do you just use the cloth and water, do you? You don't use one of the products? Is there a product that you spray on, or is it?
It's actually the glass cleaner. I'll show you.
There is one, okay. I missed some of the names on the way through.
Trying to find where it is. I'll just show you what it looks like. I think it might have been in the beginning where somebody was actually cleaning with it. There you go. You know, with a shower, let me explain with showers. Some people are really fussy with showers. A lot of it, and I suppose if you spend a lot of money on a shower, you'll understand why on some of the bathrooms. So I would clean with the Super Strength, and I would, if I haven't done the cleaning for a little while, I might use a piece of eraser block around where the soap scum is, and then I would use the Tough Guy cloth to clean the shower. Then I would dry it and polish it. I would dry with a towel and polish it with the glass cleaner and glass polisher with the glass polishing cloth, because it actually helps propel dirt and grime. So it's a really good, effective sort of almost like a protective cleaner as well. You'll notice it's really safe for kids to use. That's the other thing. So get those children to work, won't you? Okay.
And the other thing is, do you have a dishwashing, something to put in the dishwasher solution?
No, not yet. That's we do have a formula that we can access, and there's a lot of things our biochemist has tucked up his sleeve, and you'll just have to stay posted over the next in the future with Youngevity and Nature Direct, because there are a lot of things that he has that we can easily bring into the range. And I know Youngevity are very excited about some of the prospects and some of the products that may be ahead for those as well.
Thank you.
Okay.
Jeanette,
Hang on one second.
um,
Okay, who? I can hear a man speaking. Who's that?
Alan?
Alan. Just hang on. You're on mobile, Alan? Are you?
Oh, I'm with Liz.
Oh, great. Okay, we'll just mute the other calls. I think might be the go.
Hang on one sec. Okay, go ahead, Alan.
Are there any side effects to using any of these products? And if so, what are the antidotes to?
What do you mean by side effects?
Well, most products are not universally available for everybody to use without some sort of reactions or whatever on the skin.
You know what? I've got to say, it's very hard to know. The allergy rate on this is somewhere like 1 in 200,000. So it's below it's well below the sort of recommended standard. We would probably have every now and then you get somebody who says, look, I can't use the gel hand sanitizer because I'm allergic to Manuka or whatever. And so they very quickly know. And of course, we offer the 30-day money back guarantee like everybody does, like Youngevity does throughout the whole range. But it's very, very minimal, very minimal indeed. And in fact,
that's what I want to hear.
Yeah. So I think you really like them. I mean, if there's somebody who does have a reaction, with a Breathe Easy, sometimes you'll find people are very, very sensitive to any kind of fragrance. We recommend 2.5 mils, which is really a half a cap of one of those. I'll just go back to that product so you can see what it looks like. This one here. 2.5 mils goes down to the bottom of that where the water well is. And but sometimes if people are really sensitive, then they might cut it down to 1.5 mil, which is really just an eyedropper. So it's very powerful.
Okay. All right, thanks.
I wonder if you just go through each of the products that you've got there, because you went through very fast and we're trying to take notes, but we've...
Okay, sure.
Each product is...
Right, let me see if I can start from the top. This is the Enviromist, which is the one you would have I spoke about. That's our flagship product. Basically, it's fundamentally a disinfect and odour control product. I'm just going to find my notes. I don't miss anything else. It is, bear with me. We don't have a lot of products, which is nice and easy. It's a 100%, it's what they call a natural sanitizer. So it's a 100% organically grown and indigenously sourced with pure essential oils, cloves, cypress, eucalyptus, mint, pine, rosemary, savory and thyme. It has very, very powerful antibacterial properties. It's a great odour control product, getting rid of nasty smells. In fact, if you overcook seafood, what I often do is spray the rubbish bin, just, the top of that, once you peel the prawns, even when you wrap them up, you still end up with that smell. So spray the top of the rubbish bin. It's great for sanitising surface in toilets and kitchens and food prep areas. When it comes to the toilet, for example, you might clean around the bowl underneath, around the floor, because sometimes, some people might miss, the toilet. Clean those up and then just spray with this particular product and let it air dry. It's brilliant. It helps to control and remove mildew. I know a lot of people in Tasmania and certainly in colder climates. I've got quite a few customers in Christchurch where they use it to clean. They might make this product up what they call double strength, and then they would actually spray that and use to clean window ledges to pick up mould and mildew that way. So that's that product there. I'll just go to the next one. Disinfectant. This is a commercial grade disinfectant. As I said, it is actually a level C registered disinfectant. So you might have people who have home businesses, like it might be somebody who's a massage therapist, or perhaps a beauty therapist, and wants to clean their tables and their sort of massage tables down. Any chiropractors might use this product because by law in Australia, and I'd imagine it's the same in New Zealand, they are required to use what they call a graded disinfectant. And of course, some of the ones that are highly toxic. So this is a nice, safe one for them to use with the same results. The next one is the pollen and dust control spray. It's entirely plant-based. It's complete. There's no odor to it whatsoever. So VOC free. It's natural and non-toxic. And it really removes the dust particles. I do urge every one of you to go to the Nature Direct Facebook page. There are a number of videos there that you can view, and you'll be able to watch how to use them. The pollen and dust control spray, I wish I could describe how to use it, but what you would do in a bedroom, you would vacuum the room, and then I would cover the bedside tables and the bed with a sheet, and then spray really, really fine mist up into the air. You shut all the doors and windows, and the instructions are fairly explicit on the product as well. And then you would gently fold inwards the sheet, and rather than just scrunch it all up and throw it outside, because it's actually what happens. This traps things. It attracts and traps. That's really the premise behind it. So as it's on its way down, it attracts and traps and negatively charges those nasty positive particles that are in the air. So it's really effective and very, very affordable. The 200 ml bottle, which is that metal bottle in the back there, you'll see actually lasts forever. It makes up 8 of those bottles, so you can really be very liberal with it for people who really suffer from hay fever and allergies. There's a Breathe Easy, which helps maintain that air, which for people who are really struggling with breathing. Spray Mite, well, Spray Mite is just a Spray Mite. So it's instead of using the toxic store-bought one, with those awful smells that smell like, the lemon. I mean, there's such a synthetic smell that you really feel sick when you use them. And so a lot of people actually get headaches from using the commercial spray mites. So this is a really lovely spray. Easy spray that kids can use and help to clean, the kitchen table or whatever. So it's a nice, easy product thing to use. Where are we? There's our microfiber. You'll see those on our site as well. So I urge you to go onto our Facebook page and have a look at those. This is a bit of a description around the super strength cleaner and our spray wipe. The super strength is really triple concentrate, and in fact I know that it might be you, Liz, that's been using the super strength. When the floor system comes back into stock, you can actually use a capful, not even 5 mils, actually it's less than that, 5 mils in a bucket of hot water to clean the floors. It's an amazing floor cleaner. I've got a dog that my big dog actually dribbles everywhere. I know that sounds awfully graphic, but sometimes if I'm making his dinner, he'll just dribble, and it's awfully hard to get those sort of dribble marks off the white tiles on the floor. So I spray the floor, and then this stuff just makes every sort of trace of it go away. The other thing that the super strength is very effective with is grout. With an eraser block, you'd spray the grout and simply get a slice of the eraser block and run it down the grout. my tip for grout is don't scrub grout. The biggest problem often with older bathrooms is somebody has scrubbed the life out of them and broken down the surface. And the more you do that, the harder they are actually to clean. So you're going to love this product. If you've got any customers or people in your lives who are getting new kitchens and new floors, they're going to love these products, because often you'll find when the kitchen installation companies put the kitchen in, they'll say, do not use any high toxic chemicals. And I'm not surprised that they say that, because remember, sometimes people pay upwards of $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 on a kitchen. They do not want to be wrecking the surfaces with some toxic products. So this is really good for people who have got new kitchens and new bathrooms, because it's a nice fresh start for them as well. There's the glass cleaner in its various sizes with their glass polishing cloth in the background. And there's our carpet upholstery and pre-wash spray, which I covered off before as well. And you'll find that that's a very, very effective product, because again, it doesn't have any enzymes in it, which is particularly good for people with any kind of skin condition, or even young babies or young children, because they've got such sensitive skin.
So could you remove an old stain from carpet?
You know what? It's tough. Stains are often, it's not going to remove, and it didn't in my case, it didn't remove the orange glass of cordial that one of my children knocked over in our last house. It was there for goodness knows how long. You don't often know what people have used on old stains. That's a problem, Michelle. So they might have used any number of chemical cleaners. Often you'll find they'll take the colour out as well. So what we say to people is test on an inconspicuous spot. I would spray it. I'd let it sit there for about 2-3 minutes. And then I'd get one of those microfiber cloths in hot water, and I'd fold it up and really push it into the stain. Stains are not created equal. Even something like dog vomit or animal vomit or children's vomit or anybody's vomit for that matter, it often depends on what they've eaten. So whether there's protein or anything like that. So the thing about stains is test on an inconspicuous spot. I actually go back. I think it works really well as a spot cleaner, and I then will go back and perhaps use it again. Perhaps if it hasn't taken it all out the first time. I also have had great results using a piece of eraser block as well, sort of pushing it into the stain and sort of gently massaging around the stain itself. So it's a really great product in that regard. But again, it's not magic, so please don't think it is. And sometimes there are stains that are just almost impossible to get out. And often by the time you get to that stain, you don't know what's been used on it before. So that's a difficulty there.
Okay.
Glass cleaners there, carpet upholstery, disinfectant, and our sold out floor system that's coming back. And there's our range.
Okay, we've got a couple of questions.
Sure.
So we've got the first one was, is there a presentation available that we could use, and can we get catalogues for these products?
We don't actually have, Youngevity don't provide catalogues. Nature Direct actually have them. But the problem with catalogues, of course, is the minute you bring them out, they're almost out of date, as all of you know. So there is a downloadable PDF, and what I'll do is I'll just make a note of that and actually get that, the Show and Go script, which is basically what this is. This is what we call our Show and Go script, is actually available in the file section of the Youngevity Australian and New Zealand social Facebook page. So you'll see it under files. And what's the other question I was asked? So there's the catalogues. Yeah, okay. in the file section. The catalogues, there's actually a PDF that like an e-flip. There's actually an e-flip version, which is like a one of those an online brochure that is also available as well. And I'm not sure if that's been loaded up there, but I'll certainly find out about that and get that done on Monday.
Okay.
It's like a link. So you can actually send that link to people. So if you've got a friend, for example, who's got a young baby, I've got a girlfriend at the moment who's just pregnant and had a lot of difficulty getting pregnant. So I've actually, the minute I found out, I said, right, okay, this is it. This is the time you stop using any toxic products, because, of course, it's well known that toxins in particular cleaning products, remember, once you breathe in something that is toxic, it's within every organ of the brain within some remarkable number of seconds. It's incredible, or every organ of the body. So what she's been told is to stop using any toxic cleaning products. So because toxins do cross the placenta. Now, I don't normally like to talk about that because I think it's a bit of fear mongering, but it is proven that toxins that you breathe in will cross the placenta. And that's pretty serious when you don't know what's in the product in the first place. So I hope that, I don't want to sound like I'm scaring people, but, it makes sense. Often when people are pregnant, they need to stop, be aware of what they're using. I know we have many customers who've had serious illnesses like cancer, and they have been often told by their oncologist, stop using any toxic products because their immune system is depleted as it is. So these are very beautiful products and safe products that they can use to clean them as well.
Okay, so just, to give us some contrast here between standard cleaning products, available in your supermarket.
Yeah.
What sort of toxic elements have they got in them that are not in these products?
Okay. Oh gosh. Well, they have a lot of caustic products in them. I guess probably that the most insidious one would be sodium hypochlorite, which is bleach. Now, to give you an idea about bleach is available in certain strengths. Now, I know that in China, this is the level of sodium hypochlorite is limited to about 12% particles per million, and in Australia, and I'm pretty sure New Zealand's the same. There is no limit to how much to what the strength of sodium hypochlorite per particles per minute. I know with Domestos, it's something like 69 grams milliliters per milliliters of solution. The problem with bleach and many toxic products is that they don't have a smell. Now, bleach has a smell, but you can't tell the difference between a 12% bleach product or one that's 75% bleach product. So it's basically very invasive. They smell the same, but they're not the same. They're very different in strength and highly toxic as well. The other thing about bleach and some of the other chemicals as well, and as I said, they often talk about the active ingredient. You'll see on the bottom of a cleaning product. I don't have any with me. They're all been packed away in my kit. I'll show you. What they would have down the bottom is active ingredient. It might be, whatever, 4%. That's by law. They're required to actually list that active, or some of them are required to list what's called an active ingredient. But they don't have to list anything else that's in it. So it's crazy. It's really just the biggest anomaly. And in fact, if you really are interested in looking at toxic chemicals, there's a great site called the Environmental Working Group, ewg.org, and our scientist in France actually uses this criteria for actually categorising. I think it's like 1 to 2, 3 to 4 is considered to be relatively safe, up to 8, 9 and 10, which is where bleach and those more caustic cleaners are actually up in the listed category. But the biggest problem is that they don't actually smell. So you might walk into a house and you can often smell the house has been a bit clean. I'm wondering if any of you have ever remember walking into houses and smelling bleach and thinking, it smells clean in there. The other thing about some of the more toxic cleaners is that they are very heavy in molecules. So they sink to the floor of the home. You can't get rid of toxic products that are very heavy, like sodium hypochlorite. And the only way you can do that is to actually extract them from the air. So simply by opening the door and the windows is not a good indicator of getting rid of those toxic products. Now, some time ago, I'm actually part of a clean group called Clean Scene, and they did some studies on the level of the air quality within a childcare centre. Now, this is really quite scary. They measured the air quality at about 165 to 180 centimetres high, and the level of VOCs in that room were below the the recommended standards. Down in the bottom 30 centimetres of the sitting above the floor, so basically a blanket laying across the floor, the levels were more than 1,000 times the acceptable level. So it's because what happens, childcare centres and schools and even aged care facilities and even offices, they'll often go and use toxic, they'll clean at night when no one's around. But the problem is it's what they leave behind. So often you'll find that kind of chemical exposure is really insidious. The other thing you'll find is that VOCs are often very high with glass cleaning products. This same study found that people who sit next to the windows in office buildings are often sicker than the ones who sit in the middle of the room. And that's because if a window's being cleaned with something that's toxic, the VOCs are higher because, of course, the sun hits the window and then heats the glass up and obviously emits more VOCs. So you can understand how it really infiltrates every part of our lives.
Yep. We've got a question. Will
Sure.
fact sheets about each product be loaded into the Longevity Resource Centre?
The RC, yep. As I said, we don't have a lot. There's not a lot. They're really quite simple products, but they certainly will be. So I know Linda Marin and Alex Brown, who are with Nature Direct, are now working with Longevity. So that's fantastic. So I know that there's any number of resources that are going to be loaded into that section. As I said, the other thing you'll be able to do is use the script. What else we have, which I'll just point out to you. I'm not sure if this is available. I'll certainly let you know. It's what they call a learning guide for Shongos. So this will actually teach you and your distributors what to talk about and how to say. There's booking social and sponsoring bids. There's crafting your own personal story. All sorts of useful information in that as well. So that's actually part of the script, part of the social script. So I'll certainly get onto it and make sure that information is all loaded into the RC site and onto the file section on the Facebook page.
Okay. So Jeanette, could you give us a bit of an intro about these Brisbane, Sydney and Melbourne road shows that are
Yes,
they're selling?
Definitely. Louise Adrian, who is an incredible leader. I'm just astounded by how generous our leaders are at Longevity and the time and effort they've been putting into the development of our team and all of you as well with social selling. She's coming to Brisbane first. And her events, I think they're also on the RC site, and I'm pretty sure they're on the Facebook page file section as well. So she's doing an event in Brisbane, which is free. It's an event that a little like the one that Sean Brown and Luke Tafuri actually did quite recently. But this one will be way more knowledgeable, of course, because she's so product focused and she's very product focused around the essential oils. So it's her success with essential oils is just remarkable. I mean, I know that her party average when she does an online essential oil party is somewhere in the vicinity of $3,500 to $4,500 in sales. It's that powerful. So what you can't learn about essential oils from that woman is not worth knowing. So if you are really absolutely, I would urge you, if you're in Brisbane, to get to that event. I think it's on Saturday the 2nd. I actually won't be there because it's the day after my daughter's wedding. And then the next day, Carla Hart, who's one of the key distributors with Nature Direct. She'll be in Brisbane as well. They're then flying to Perth and they're running the same events in Perth. And then they're flying to Melbourne and we're doing the same event on the Friday, which I think is oh heavens, what's the calendar? Just bear with me. It's actually Friday, just looking at the June calendar, Friday the 8th. And then on the 9th and 10th, is the social selling conference, which there is a cost involved. It's $150, and that's an all-day event where it's very intense training on how to do the make and takes, for example, make, take and freeze with Sabre, Nature Direct, of course, for those people who want to know about Nature Direct, and also about the essential oils and some of the other verticals on nutritionals as well. So Louise Adrian, she's just a walking, talking example of what longevity can do for someone's health, and she's seriously compromised with rheumatoid arthritis and fibromyalgia. So she's got a great personal story as well. So I'd love everyone to see every one of you in Melbourne, because it's going to be an amazing event. If you have any further questions about that, please feel free to message me, friend me on Facebook. We'll keep in touch. And if you want to ask me any questions, I'm always open to questions about mould and all those interesting things like that. So you just ask for your grease, grime and mould questions, and I'll do the best I can to help you.
Okay, so we don't have any more questions popping up in the chat. If anybody does have a question, can you quickly type it into the chat? Other than that, we'll start to wind up the meeting. So.
Oh, there was one question. People asked me about what's the difference between this and Norwex. Norwex is an incredible company, and certainly I know there's quite a few great companies out there that have good cleaning solutions, microfiber products. You can use the Naturex solutions, the ones down here, with the Norwex microfiber. I guess where this comes, if I had $1 for every time somebody who was using very good microfiber and still went to get the super strength because of how effective it was with grease and grime. And the other one, of course, is the one that nobody has, is this product here, because you can't microfiber a smell. You actually have to get rid of it. So this product here is, we have a lot of people who buy that product who may just use microfiber to clean with, but boy, oh boy, do they love this product as well. So there's really something for everybody, Michelle.
Can I just ask about the mould? I know you want to bring it in another day, but I do have mould in my walk-in robe. Is it best to have a mister, or can I use that pollen maybe?
No, this is what, okay, if it's in your walk-in robe, you're going to have to empty it. There's moisture coming in somewhere. So my advice to you is how big is the area, by the way, Liz? How big is the length of, the amount of,
I don't know.
About 3 square metres.
Yeah, about 3 square metres.
So that's the size of the room. And what about the mould problem?
No, I think I live right down on a river, so I think I get a lot of humidity from there. And also I'm on the ground floor of a unit block, and I think water when it rains, it runs down the wall, and I'm the last one it hits. So a lot of water pools at the bottom, and my walk-in robe is against the garden. I think it's older building, so I think I'm getting damp. It doesn't show, but my clothes get mouldy very easily. I have to wash them and all that sort of thing, and sleep in that room. And sometimes I just feel I need something in there.
Yeah, I would probably, if you've got a body corporate, I'd be contacting a mould remediation person. That's pretty serious, actually, if it's so close to where you sleep. Mildew and mould is just insidious when it comes to anywhere near on ground floor where there's not appropriate blocking mechanisms to stop the moisture from rising. I wouldn't muck around with that. You can certainly kill it with white vinegar. I'll just give you a couple of tips on that. Remove all the clothing for a start. It would be great if you could get a dehumidifier. You need to hire one, okay? They're not cheap, but it's well worth it. Hire it. Get a dehumidifier into that room, and get as much moisture out of the room. The problem is if it's if the moisture's leaching in all the time, it's going to be this never-ending cycle.
It's not all the time. It seems to be worse around this time, the end of summer, where it gets a bit humid and rainy and things like that.
Well, I would probably get a dehumidifier, remove all the clothes, put the dehumidifier in the room, and then clean the room with, clean the surfaces with the Super Strength, which is a red one you just saw earlier. Then you need to spray it with white vinegar and water. Now, the vinegar you need to get is distilled white vinegar. So it's up the top shelf of the supermarket. It's not the synthetic one on the bottom. Okay, so it's not the one in the plastic container. Make a solution up of 80% vinegar, 20% water, and then you spray the affected area and let it air dry after you've cleaned it. Okay, so don't touch it, and keep doing that for a couple of days. When you're cleaning with mold as well, just to be aware, you need to clean one way. So can you see my hand, Liz?
Yes, yeah.
So when you clean mold, you spray it, you wipe one way. Don't do that don't rub over it, because when you start to scrub stuff, you simply spread the spores. So what I recommend you do is simply wipe one way, get the microfiber cloth like this one here, right? And then get it into the hot soapy water, rinse it all out, squeeze it out, wipe down, do it again, wipe down, do it again, wipe down, do it again. So do not go over and over the area with the same cloth. In fact, this is what you would do as well. Go and buy a cheap microfiber, because that's a type of, this is a good one, but if you're cleaning up mold and mildew, those spores will become trapped in those hooks and they will never, ever, ever, ever come out. So go and buy some cheap microfiber from Bunnings and use that one to clean with. And if you need any tips, so I'll give you I don't know whether you've got my phone number, Liz, but
Okay.
so give me a call and I'm happy to talk through it with you. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
It's pretty serious. I don't muck around with it, really.
Yeah, I know. They say the cloves are very good for mold.
Well, they are, but yeah, and that certainly the Enviromist will help. Double strength Enviromist if you can't stand the smell of vinegar, but vinegar will actually kill the spores, and then you can control it with the Enviromist. That pink one, which is the one up here, I would recommend you make this in a double strength. So basically, it says 25 mils. I put 50 mils and top it up with water. So you can use that to help control it, perhaps around the skirting boards and things like that, once you've actually done that big clean with super strength and vinegar.
Okay.
It sounds like I'm overreacting, but I'm not. Okay?
No, I know mold's pretty dangerous.
Yeah. And in fact, I did a mold remediation course several years ago. So, and I know I can just take one look at mold sometimes and say, right, you need to get a mold remediation expert into the house to get rid of it and find out what's going on, because it's such a serious thing.
Okay.
Any other questions, maybe? No?
No, that's fine. Thank you.
So I'm glad I got the chance to talk to you about this.